Good evening, everyone. I hope we're all doing well this evening. So I started the call very early today, so we can all settle in and so we don't waste anybody's time and like we can all settle in. So quickly, let's get ready to soak in insightful knowledge from today's session. It's going to be a very insightful one, like just like the last one. If you were around or available for the last session last Saturday, you would tell you that it was a very insightful one with a lot of knowledge to gain from. And trust me, proud to this call, I've also been in touch with Mr. Segun, and I can tell that there's a lot to be learned today. So let's get right in. Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the session, to the third session of our mentorship program. And this is in collaboration with a finance club, Club E.F.I, the finance club just like us. So just to give a brief rundown of what this program is about. So just to give a brief rundown of what this program is about, we started is meant to be a 4 weeks mentorship program on entrepreneurship. We started 8 weeks ago. This is the third session and it's going to end next week, Saturday. And the goal for this program is to teach people on entrepreneurship and get them started on how to do this and strategies to get ready and real business people can like share business knowledge and strategies with them. So we have two guest entrepreneurs from Club E.F.I. Yes, last Saturday we took Mr. Lauren Femi. He was with us and he shared a very interesting topic and knowledge with us. But today we are going to be um, sticking with Mr. Segun from Club E.F.I. So this is where it gets more interesting, guys. At the end of this 4 weeks mentorship program, Club E.F.I is willing to accommodate the most engaged individuals from this program for an apprenticeship opportunity to gain practical skills. Last week Saturday we continued our program. It was a really insightful and engaging one. There was a lot of questions to be asked, and we talked about a very interesting topic, which is from concept to company, building a solid business foundation. And Mr. Olorunfemi helped us to understand how you can build a solid business foundation by finding the right team, building on a budget with what you have as a starting entrepreneur. Because we know how entrepreneurship is. Capital is limited. You are just starting. You are trying to figure out a lot of things, which Mr. Olorunfemi helped us to gain more insightful knowledge last Saturday. So he made us to also understand that building a solid business foundation requires you to learn because there's always a lot of things to learn and consider before starting a business. You have to consider current market conditions when building a solid business foundation. You also have to determine what kind of business you want to create. When you're looking to scale from like an idea to a company, you need to find the right team because that's what you need as a starting entrepreneur. And it also made us to understand that you might not have the finance, but there are always ways to negotiate. Some people don't really need like external investors to start a business. You can just really gather your friends together so you can um, like share resources because that's one of the main objective of starting a business as an entrepreneur. Which brings us to today's topic from concept. Today's topic, which is from launch to growth strategies for scaling your business. And we have Mr. Shogun here with us, who is going to be taking today's topic for us. Mr. Shogun is going to share. So I'm sure most of you already know Mr. Shogun from if you were with us from the first episode, from the first session of this mentorship program. I'm sure most of you know Mr. Shogun. But for people just joining us today, Mr. Shogun is a seasoned entrepreneur and is the founder of Club E.F.I. I'm sure when I hand it over to Mr. Shogun, he's going to give a very detailed introduction of himself and then we can kickstart. So mainly what this topic is about from launch to growth is strategies for transforming an idea into a successful and sustainable business. So Mr. Shegun will share insights on market research, business planning, and securing funding, as well as tips on building a strong team. Because one thing you must consider is, as an entrepreneur, your resources are limited, as already said. This is so, guys. This is going to last 40 minutes. This is going to last 40 minutes, and then the remaining minutes we'll use it to entertain questions, contributions that anybody might like to have or would have. So, Mr. Shegun, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello, Mr. Shegun. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you
So
hear
over
me?
to you. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I
Cool.
can hear you. I can hear you. I can
Cool.
hear you.
Yeah.
Welcome, 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 Mr. Shegun. So nice to have you this evening.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. All right. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, so just give a brief introduction about yourself for people that might just be joining us today, because I'm sure you've given an introduction about yourself, but like some people are just joining us newly today, and after your introduction, you can just go ahead and let's dive into today's teaching and lecture. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Victor. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a privilege. Thank you so very much. Good evening, everyone, or I would say good day to anyone joining us from outside this time zone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Segun Aderibigbe, and I am the founder of Club E.F.I. I also have a paint manufacturing business that is across 5 West African countries, and I also run a tech company, a tech startup, where I built a mobile app, and it's available for SME. So everything that you need as an SME is built into that mobile app. So you need accounting, you need banking services, you need online storefront, you need legal services, you want to register your business, blah blah blah. You can do that all, everything you need as an SME, you have it in that app. On the other side, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, and I'm based out of Nigeria, but I'm always in the skies. But anyway, that's enough of me. I'm privileged again to be, invited to talk with you. We did this about 2 weeks ago, and one of the members of the club spoke with you guys last week, Saturday. His name is Olorunfemi, a very good friend of mine. And I'll be with you again tonight. I'll be speaking to you tonight on from launch to growth, strategies to scale your business, right? And then next week as well, I'll be with you, okay? And then we bring a close to this 4 weeks series. So thank you once again to the Rise Vest leadership and the team. And I also want to thank all of you for, giving me your time and attention to listen to me. Okay, so before the topic before me today is to talk about how to acquire new customers, retaining existing clients, exploring online and offline marketing techniques that suits your style of business and is sustainable. And I was also asked to talk about operational planning, resource management, and technology adoption for growth. Okay, that's a handful. So let's start. Scalability of business actually depends on the kind of business and the resources available to that business. SME by nature are not fast growing businesses, unlike tech startups. Tech startups by nature are built for quick acceleration, right? So, but I'm trying to just balance it amongst, SMEs and tech startups that are a bit unique in the SME space. 30 years ago, Google was a Stanford University's project for a student. The name of that student is Larry Page. Sony makes rice cookers before they went into electronics. Lamborghini used to manufacture tractors. Nokia was a toilet roll manufacturing company. YouTube was not actually a video streaming and video whatever. It was a dating site. Instagram was not Instagram. It used to be called Bourbon and was an app for whiskey. What am I saying? Your business at the original stage may not be the business that you are still going to do 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line. So, but the truth is, no business actually gets it right from day one. So from launch to growth, which is the topic before me tonight, you may not know everything, you may not have everything figured out at the beginning of your business. Even while you are at it, there may be some innovation that you need to incorporate that may change the line of your business as you proceed. However, what is key is that you start as who you are, with what you have and where you are. Everything starts from zero. It starts from ground up. It starts from an imagination. It starts from thinking. Because the topic again says from launch to growth. So you start from ground up. You don't start from up down. The only grave diggers actually start from the top. Everybody starts from below. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So as you journey on your venture in your entrepreneurial business or your entrepreneurial quest, remember that you start from ground up. However, there are about 5 things that are key as you launch and as you move towards growth. Yes, they always say customers is the king, but it's not only the customers that helps you to scale. It's not only the customers that helps you to grow. Other things that help you to grow includes number 1, talent. Talent actually helps you to grow. If you know how to do something exceptionally well, there is a tendency that a lot of people are going to patronize your business. Yes, number 2, customers, because the more you have customers, the more you're able to sell. They are the ones that have the money in their pockets, and it's that money you want to collect. Number 3, technology. You need technology in this time and age for you to move from your launch to your growth phase. Next one, leadership and culture. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So you can have the best talent, you may have customers, you may adopt technology, but if the leadership of the business is in shambles, there is no clear-cut vision, there is no clear-cut mission, there is no clear-cut direction for the business. We just wake up every morning, we go to the office and we come back home. There are no targets set. There is nothing, that actually shows that this is a business that is led by a visionary. Then the business will die. Then lastly, capital, which of course we can call funding. So these are 5 key things that you need to really take time to look up around when it comes to growth, from launching to growth. Now, let's start with how you acquire customers. Because again, if you don't have customers, you are just running a hobby. You are not doing a business. But let me take a step back. Before you talk about acquiring customers, let's talk about how you maintain customers and the importance of maintaining your existing customers. According to Forbes and HubSpot, a 5% increase in customer retention can actually increase your company's profitability by 75%. Reducing your customer defections can boost your profit from 25 to 85%. The probability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the probability of selling to a new customer, a new prospect, is just 5 to 20%. Loyal customers spend an average of 33% more per order compared to the orders that are, compared to the orders that are very difficult to cross-sell to. I'm sure a lot of us, we have maybe one favorite supermarket, we go buy some stuffs, and you maybe actually want to buy some groceries, or say you want to buy some toiletries. But because you are kind of used to that supermarket, and the person that attends to you, a guy or a girl at the counter, smiles and it's a friend, sometimes you can just pick up 1 or 2 other things that you never budgeted for. Why? Because it's easier to cross-sell to someone like you than someone who goes to a supermarket for the very first time in a new city. It's a new supermarket, you don't even know anything about that supermarket. You just go there, buy what you want to buy, and you check out. Okay, it costs 16 times more to build a long-term relationship with a new customer compared to keeping an existing one. Acquiring a new customer costs at least 5 times in this when you want to retain a new customer. 86% of customers with great purchase experience will likely buy from your company again and again. Sorry for that breaking transmission. I had a little glitch on my side. Okay, so you can increase the value of your company by 30%, and with only 10% increase in your customer retention levels. So these statistics I've just rolled out to you already shows how it is critical to maintain and maximize the customer's life cycle of the existing ones that you have. So while I appreciate the importance of acquiring new clients, lawyers will always say, "Res ipsa loquitur," the fact speaks for itself. You cannot compare the relationship with an existing client with a new client. So when you're talking from launch to growth, it's critical to maximize the relationship that you have with your existing customers than to go looking out for new customers. Please don't get me wrong. Acquisition of new customers is actually very critical. Now, what are the four strategies for retaining these clients before we talk about how to acquire new clients? Number one is consistency in products or service quality. Lots of businesses are taking existing clients for granted. Clients don't like it when you take their loyalty, and you feel you can toy with it, maybe because you know that they will always come to you. Some of us, we have some products or some services that until we get a different alternative, a different one, an alternative, we will never go back to those guys that we are patronizing. But at, at the point where we are, we have no choice than to just keep subscribing or keep paying for their services, right? A lot of us, well, I don't want to mention some, but some cable TVs, right? Either you watch or you don't watch, you're going to pay this fee. Now, a lot of us, if we have a pay-per-view option, I'm very sure we'll go for those pay-per-views, right? But you are stuck with this. There's nothing much you can do about it. So it's important that you have consistency in the quality of your service, in the quality of your product that you offer. Why? Because a repetition of that act actually makes its performance almost automatic. So constant repetition of the amazing experience you give to your existing customers is of vital importance, because that customer will help you spread the good news of your product quality or your service quality. So number one is consistency in product or service quality. Number two, asking for feedbacks. You may be wondering how is asking for feedback important to retention of clients? When you make someone feel like he's a stakeholder in your business, that person would always, most likely, will patronize your business. So even if you may not use the feedback, customers will feel important when you ask them to give a feedback, for a product or service improvement. And when you now adopt it, especially when you look at it and it's something you can adopt, I mean, they feel so loyal to you because they gave you a feedback, you adopted the feedback, and they can see that you actually adopted based on their advice, right? These are the things you do when you are iterating your business. Sometimes the feedback could be negative, but please, when you see negative feedbacks or when you get negative feedback, it's an indicator of an unhappy customer. And sometimes these unhappy customers are your greatest sources of learning. Number three, building personal relationships. So get personal with these customers to build that trust. All right. There are many clients that I have that I know they cannot go anywhere. Why? Because my relationship with them is no longer business, it's now personal. In fact, I can tell you the name of the butterflies in their house. That's to tell you how close I am with these customers. They know that if they go buy paints elsewhere and I discover, they would hurt my feelings a lot. So I have built relationship with customers. I know their birthdays, I know their wedding anniversaries, and so on and so forth. So if you can, especially if you are able to do this, you will be able to retain these clients better, retain these clients more. Why? Because your relationship with them has gone personal. It's no longer just business. Oh, I just want to buy and you want to sell to me. Next one, showing more appreciation, right? Yes, it is business. Yes, you were asked to do something and you've done it and they've paid you and everybody can go their way. But please show a bit more appreciation to that client, because at the end of the day, they have alternatives. They could have patronized somebody else and not you. But for them to patronize you and you say, "Oh, thank you so very much," because see, customers actually remember how you make them feel. So when you play that emotional card and say, "Oh, it's a pleasure. In fact, your patronage kept me in business. I really thank you because you were able to do this business with me, and it has led to this, and that." So I give an example. Two telco businesses in Nigeria, they use my paints. I won't tell you the names, but one is One is the biggest, right? They use my paints, the whole of Nigeria. I was able to get the second one because the first one put in a word for me by giving me a reference letter. And this thing didn't cost this person to do, it didn't cost her. She has the procurement in that telco. Cost her to do much. Why? Simply because I said thank you. So these customers can go all out for you. Strategies to acquiring new clients. I move to the next topic. Now, if you do a quick Google on the on your laptop, you can do a quick search. You will see all manner of strategies to acquire new clients, right? But I want to tell you 3 strategies in acquiring new clients. Number 1, get your existing customers to sell. When you sell as a person, that's when you start a business. When your employees sell, that's when you grow a business. But when your customers sell, that's when you really scale. How many times have you asked your customer for a referral? You don't know all of them. Yes, there is the Andrew's law that says you are a maximum of 6 people away from anybody in this world. Agreed. But push your customers to help you refer your business to their own friends. How can you do this? Either you go straight to them and say, can you kindly refer me to 5 of your 5 of your friends, 5 of your colleagues or neighbors or something, or put it like a carrot and stick approach. Give them a discount card. Tell them they can transfer that discount card to their own network. So somebody buys, say, a phone from you. Let's say you are into selling of phones and laptops and things like that. Give them a discount card saying, thank you for buying this phone from me. I have given you a 2% discount on your next purchase, and this discount card is transferable to somebody else, but this discount card expires in the next 1 month. Now, 2 things will happen. One is they would push to use that discount card, because it is timed. Not using it, the discount card expires. Second thing that will happen is if they push and they give it to somebody else because the discount card is transferable, that new person that comes to you becomes another customer. So that's one strategy you can use to acquire new customers. Second strategy is to enhance your online presence. I cannot overly emphasize this, but what I want to talk about here is that if you are running a business and your business is not based on you as a person, please, your social media handles for your business should be separate from your social media handle that you use for your personal content. A lot of times I see some things online and I am seeing someone who is advertising something today and next thing is posting about church or mosque he went to. Yes, I understand and I respect your Christianity or your religion, Islam, and all of that. I respect it, but if you are selling hair on Instagram, please, all I want to see should relate to hair, and have a social media handle for your hair business. Don't post something on Arsenal win Chelsea today. Then next tomorrow you post about Tinubu and Buhari, and the next tomorrow you are posting about hair. It doesn't put professionalism to your online presence. But except the business is based on you as a person. Say, for example, you are a lawn tennis player. That is, the business is based on you. You are a coach, you are a football player, you are an emotional therapist or something. Yes, then is your social media handle, your personal social media handle can also be your business handle. But in some cases, try and separate these things. Enhancing your online presence also means going all out. Let people know you, because there's no use of being an unknown expert. You are good at what you do, but only your father and mother knows what you do. Or only those that live on the same street with you knows what you do. Businesses today are scaling beyond boundaries of the city, beyond boundaries of the nation, right? So enhance your online presence. One of the things that helped us to scale in our own business, right? Like I said earlier when I was introducing myself, my paint is in 5 West African countries and some Central African countries as well. We did not scale because somebody walked in front of our factory. No, it was because somebody saw us online and reached out to us and we took it from there. So I understand you are good at what you do. I understand you are an expert, but please go beyond just your nearest neighborhood. Have a budget on marketing if you can afford it. For every profit that comes in the business, please earmark an amount, minimum amount, on marketing. And the simplest you can do is targeted ads, sponsored ads on Facebook or on Instagram. The simplest, the cheapest you can do. You can leave the billboards and the BRTs and the, SEO on Google and all of those things. As little as 10,000 naira, you can run a sponsored advertisement on your social media handle. Some of our customers today, in fact, I would shock you, more than 80% of our customers today were not customers that we spoke to physically. They were people who saw us on Instagram, saw us on Facebook, saw us on LinkedIn, and reached out to us and said, oh, I can see your timeline and you guys are into this. I would like to do this. And then we take it up from there. So enhance your online presence when you want to acquire new clients. Next one, in acquisition of clients, know that there is something we call the business tripod. We use this in my club, Club E.F.I. The business tripod simply says, for a deal to close, 3 things must come in place. Please, if you are taking notes, take this down. It's very critical. For any deal to close with a new client, because sometimes acquisition of a prospective customer does not translate to the customers themselves. A customer is aware. A potential customer is aware does not mean that person will eventually be your customer. I mean, you have also seen a lot of adverts, but not all the adverts you've seen, you've patronized, right? So to convert that lead to an opportunity, to convert that lead to a deal, you need 3 things. Because this subtopic I'm tackling is how to acquire new clients, not just to get people to know about your product. Everybody can know about your product. Fantastic, congratulations, everybody knows about it, but are they all your customers? Absolutely no. So 3 things must come together. Number 1, the technical part. The technical part simply means for a deal to close, technically the person's need must be met. I need a scientific calculator means I need a scientific calculator. If you give me a normal calculator, I cannot buy it. No matter how much I love you, no matter how much I love your product and I love your business, if it does not technically meet my need, I cannot buy it. So for a deal to close, the technical parts must align. Number 2, the commercial part. The commercial part simply says, I have the money to buy what technically meets my need. The commercial part simply says, oh, I want to buy a scientific calculator. Oh, Mr. Segun, this is your scientific calculator. I have it in stock. All right. I have just 2,000 naira to buy it. Oh, sorry. I sell my scientific calculator for 10,000 naira. That deal cannot close. Why? Because even though it technically meets my need, commercially, I am unable to afford it. So technically, there must be an alignment. Commercially, there must be an alignment. A lot of us buy the things that we buy today because we can afford it and because it meets our need. Let's leave the wants and the desires and the impulse buying aside. But when we buy stuffs, we buy those stuffs because we have a need and we have the money to get that thing. So you are hungry, you go into a restaurant, you want to eat rice, they have rice. It is rice you want to eat, and it is rice that they have. And they are selling their rice, maybe a plate of rice goes for 16,000 naira. And then you have the 16,000 naira, then the deal will close. However, there is a last part that a lot of SMEs miss out. It's a sentimental part. This sentimental part sometimes actually even overrides the technical part and the commercial part. The sentimental part speaks to the emotional part of closing a deal. Some of us buy things from women because we probably have soft touch for women. Some of us buy things from our friends because we have a soft touch for our friends. So technically, it is a scientific calculator. So there is a technical alignment. Commercially, there is an alignment because I can afford it. But do I like you? If I don't like you, I won't buy from you. And sometimes people buy from people, they don't just buy the product. Because again, You are selling scientific calculator. Somebody else is also selling the same scientific calculator. So what's so special about your own? It's probably the same brand, right? So why should I buy from you? Even though I can buy it, even though you have what I need, but I don't like you. If I don't like you, I won't buy from you. I'll go and buy from the person I like. So these three things, we call them the Club E.F.I tripod for closing deals. It's a thing we built in Club E.F.I for SMEs in our syllabus. Anyway, let's move on. So sometimes the sentimental part is even more important than the technical part and the commercial part. Because sometimes people can even buy what they don't need because they have that sentiment. So people can take a loan or even buy now, pay later, BNPL model because of the sentimental part. Right? So that speaks to acquisition of clients. Let me take some questions before I move on. Any questions, please? Questions? Victor, do you want to take one or two questions before we
No,
move on? Or should I just continue?
uh, uh, I think you should continue. So we'll just take questions as the ending. But
All
I'm
right,
with you.
fantastic. So so I have 6 minutes to go and I will quickly rush this. So I was also given 2 things to speak on as well. Okay, 3 more things: operational planning, resource management, and what's the third one? Technology adoption for growth. Okay, let me talk about operational planning. So if you want consistent and sustained results, you need to create and immerse yourself in a routine that can power it. A lot of times we see routines as things that are boring, things that are repetitive, but actually that's where the results of the business is sustained. So in the business, in my own business, and I like to use my own as an example, so you know that these things are real life stuff. It's not things that we read online or we are telling you book knowledge. We are telling you experiential knowledge here. We have what we call the SOP. It's a standard operating procedure. It's a set of step-by-step instructions that we have compiled by the organization that can help our workers actually carry out complex routine operations. It helps us meet that consistency in results. I tell you about paint manufacturing because that is one of the things I do. There is how we start to manufacture. It does not matter who is running the process. There is what we need to do first, there is something we need to do second, there's something we need to do third. So it is independent of the person carrying out that exercise. Our SOP does not care who is going to execute it. So new staff can be employed today. In fact, we just got in about 5 new IT people doing CWES, these industrial attachments from different universities. And we just told them the same process. And you know what? We just watched them. We didn't even tell them what to do. We just said, this is the process. This is what this is. This is what this is. And they were able to deliver the same result as some of our experts who have been in the business for 6 years, 7 years are able to do. So you must have an SOP if you want to scale your business. Nothing kills a business faster than a wrongly timed SOP or the weight of a badly executed strategy. But when you have results, sometimes I tell people it's difficult to correct someone who has results. When you have results, you'll be able to maintain what you have been given consistently. And constantly and consistently offering excellent service to the customer to exceed their expectation is also part of the things that will help your business to scale. Now, there's a Pareto principle that I'm sure you may have heard of before, that 80% of your company's revenue comes from 20% of your existing clients. Now, when I was talking about clients and how you maintain clients, I was talking about how you give them an amazing experience, right? But not just those clients. Also for your business is caring for your employees. See, you can import your machines or whatever from Pluto. You can have a majestic office in Marina or Broad Street or Lekki Phase 1. You can have fantastic clients that can buy in the millions of naira or hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever. But if you have a terrible receptionist, your business can go down. Your business can feel it. Because some of your clients that are giving you 80% of the revenue, if they choose to stop buying from you, you will not only miss them, you will also feel them in your bottom line. So Amazing experience is key. Caring for your employees, very key. And lastly, having great products, very key. In terms of resource management, because I have 3 minutes to go, resource management actually helps your organization reduce costs, improve efficiencies, and boost productivity. So in an organization, you will typically identify these 5 major resources you need to manage. What are these 5 that you need to manage? Number 1, human capital. Please, you need to know how to manage your employees very well. If you have employees, if they're asking for a time off, please give them a time off. If you don't mind to give them a 13th month salary and you have the ability to do that, please do it. These are human beings. And they are the ones that actually help your business. You can't do everything yourself. If they want to commit a fraud in your business, they can get away with it. Most of my employees, I tell them all the time, if you're not happy working with me, please feel free to resign. I don't want to have an unhappy employee. If you're not happy with it, please resign. Number 2, resource, financial resources. You must be able to manage your numbers, the numbers of your business. That's why it's critical to have accounting, no matter how little, even if it is an Excel sheet where you write the revenue of the business and the expenses of the business, and you go and get a chartered accountant, or even just an accountant, not even a chartered, just an accountant that knows his onions, and say, please tell me my profit and loss, tell me my balance sheets, tell me. They can help you. You need to be able to manage your business. Don't be doing business year in, year out, and you don't even know if you are making losses or profits. I think 2 weeks ago, I was also saying that your personal money is your personal money, the business money is your business money. If you're an employee of the business, let the business pay you a salary. You are not entitled to dipping hands in the profit of the business. Anyhow, manage your finances. The third resource that you need to manage is your inventory. Especially if you are into manufacturing like I am, your inventory. We do inventory management every week. If you run a supermarket or whatever, if you have any form of inventory, please keep an eye on these things. Because you may be going out of stock. There may be a WIP, which is work in progress. Customers may be paying, but there is pilfering in your business. We have a warehouse where it is under lock and key. I am the only one who has the key there, and some other persons that I can trust with my life. Then the regular ones, they don't have access to that warehouse. They just have access to some storeroom that they can get some chemicals and so on and so forth. Next one is your time. Time management for your employees and for yourself. Stop working in the business, rather work on the business. You should be thinking strategically, not operationally. Leave your employees to handle the operations on the day-to-day basis. These are the things we do. You think about the strategy of the business. And lastly, information technology. How you can adopt IT. How you can manage IT resources in your business. Printers, scanners, etc., etc., and all of those things that you need to do your job properly. Lastly, technology adoption for growth. I'm going to wrap up here. There's an appalling statistics that says 7%, a mere 7% of African SMEs are adopting technology. I read this from Punch some days ago. Well, I would like to take questions around that technology adoption, because adopting technology varies from business to business. So there's no one way approach to address this aspect. I've got some things written down, but I don't want to speak of it until I hear feedbacks and people who may have questions touching specifically on technology adoption for growth. But on a high level, it could be as simple as adopting social media for your marketing. It could be as simple as having a business app to manage, like I was telling you, we have one that we built as well, to manage, your business, your cash flow, your banking services, your, inventory, your stock keeping, your accounting solution. It could be as simple as there are many apps on Google Play Store and App Store that are built for SMEs, right? So that you can even be professional. Sometimes you are asking someone, give me a quote, and he's writing it on a piece of paper, snapping it on WhatsApp and sending to you. If I get that from you, I already have the kind of thinking of what I'm going to price your service. I already have. But when I see a professionally designed invoice and you send it to me, I think I would adjust myself a bit more. Anyway, thank you very much. Let me stop here. I've spent 2 minutes beyond my time. I'll be happy to take questions now.
Thank you, Mr. Shegun. That was very, very insightful. I enjoyed it a lot. I, I was able to even gain a lot of knowledge from it. I even dropped some quite knowledgeable nuggets in the on the chat. Uh, I think mainly what I was like able to grab mainly from this topic today is how you can build personal relationship as an entrepreneur, because I mean you said it yourself in most of your explanations of like from journey to growth, how you can manage as an entrepreneur. Like personal relationship was always coming up in different scenarios. So I very much think personal relationship on how you manage your customer is very important, because as you said, retaining your customer is more cost effective than getting new customer. So guys, um that was very, very nice one, because you also pointed out that building a good personal relationship would help you like retain customers in the aspect of your customers start buying from you because you have a relationship with them. Most times they're not even buying your product, they're like literally buying from you because ah, like you know them personally, and that's a good one as an entrepreneur, especially if you want to scale, because you know one thing is you are limited in resources. You can't compete like the big guys, so you have to be very strategic in the way you build your business. So quickly, so don't waste any much time. Thank you, Mr. Shegun, for that. That was very, very insightful. So we have 16 minutes more, and we'll be open to questions, contributions that any of us might have. Okay, I'm seeing some hands raised up. Okay, Samuel, let's go with you first. Let me unmute you so you can ask your question or your contribution. Go ahead, Mr. Samuel.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So, thank you very much, Mr. Shegun, for the insightful lecture we have had this evening. God bless you. So, I have a question, but first, I wanted to say something. So, when we are talking about personal relationships, so forming relationships with the customers, so because for me personally, that is one of the things why I am loyal to Rice Best. So, this Rice Best community that we have, this investment club. So the fact that we have direct access to people from Rice Best, so it's really one of the deciding factors for me. So in saying I am a Rice Best customer, because there's just that trust, that loyalty that I have these people there. So I can see that. Now my question is that could you so you talked about hiring the right staff. So could you speak about some of the things to look out for? So if you wanted to hire, so maybe some principles, some framework to use in deciding how to hire, who to hire, and all that.
Mr. Shego, I don't know if you got that. Are you with us? Hello, Mr. Shego. I guess he's having network issues. Um, guys, please confirm if you can hear me, if it's from my end or Mr. Shego end. You can just put it on the chat box if you can hear me.
I can hear you from here.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'm guessing it's Mr. Shego. Um, Let me quickly chat him up. But please ask your question again. So the question was mainly, if I heard you correctly, how to sort for like the right team when building personal relationship, or like how to sort for like the qualities, right?
So when hiring, so some
Yeah.
qualities to look for in deciding who to hire. So it's kind of framework for hiring?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, sir.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay,
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 we lost
yeah.
you for a second.
My
I don't know
apologies.
if you heard the
I don't know. I had
question
to
or
switch from my. I was using a different device, and then I was talking, but I heard what he said, but I didn't hear him clearly, so I just
okay.
switched it to a different device. Yeah. So the question is strategies for hiring. Is it employees you mean?
Yeah,
Employees,
for
yes.
hiring when you want to like hire.
Okay. So for me, when I want to hire, I actually go for character. I would hire for character, and I would train you for skill. I sometimes people that are skilled are very somehow, maybe they feel full of themselves. So there is a training process as well, because again, you can't just get into the business and then you feel you can begin to handle things the way you learned it from wherever you are coming from. For me, I have a very simple process, which is run an interview. Okay, we run an interview, and then based on the way you speak in your interview, and again, depending on the role I'm interviewing you for, there are some criteria I adopt. So if, for example, it's for a sales role, I mean, your communication skills is gonna be top notch. Your interpersonal, your um, interrelational skills, yeah, interrelational skills has to be good. um if I'm hiring you for the back end, where we do the dirty job in doing the manufacturing, I mean, there are some things so for example, I don't even hire the ladies for those heavy duty tasks. When I'm hiring them for the factory part, they do more of the measurements, and so again, it depends on the role I'm hiring for. But what is most critical to me is to hire for character, and I will have a feel of your character, put you under probation for a few months, 3 months, to see who you are really, before I can make your offer permanent. So that's how I do it. I don't have a very robust layer 2, layer 3, layer 4 stage of interviewing process. No, I just have 2 stages. Simple. I trust that helps.
Um, I'm sure that helps. I hope that helped, Mr. Samuel. Um, so guys, if you want to ask your question, you just have to type on like an icon in the middle of your chat to raise your hand to speak, or you can put it in the chat box to ask your question or drop your contributions. Um, so Samuel, if that didn't like answer your question fully, you can also still drop it in the chat. But so everyone have a chance to like ask a lot of questions and suggestions. Let's move on to the next person. Mr. Daniel, over to you. I've granted you access to speak. You can go ahead now. Daniel, Daniel. Okay. I guess Daniel is having network issues. So let's just move on to the next person so we don't waste time. Damilola, I've granted you access to speak. You can go ahead now.
Evening, everyone. Good evening. I actually joined a little bit late due to network connection. So my question is, for about some years now, I've been running I call it a mini agency where I help business owners to manage their businesses online and give them some other ideas on how to go online as well. But it got to a stage whereby I was unable to accommodate them, and I was also unable to get more clients on board as well. And every single time I try to hire people or bring them on board to work together, either for the business or to work as a partner, it's not just working. They just want to do things anyhow they like, and I just have to let them go. And I've been having that 2, 3, 4 times, and it's got to a stage that look, I just need to let this go and face other parts of my life. So how do you, because majorly anything that relates to managing pages online or dealing with accounts it's much more higher of security aspect I'm very much more concerned about. So even though I keep on training them, they just want to do things on their own, and sometimes it require discussing or having client card details to add to their page management and their ads manager and things like that. So how do you hire people at that level? Because we're talking about security at this stage.
Okay, thank you for that question. So, wow, I can feel your pains because I know what it is to build a business, and then some people just seemingly are frustrating the SOP you have. So, the question I will ask you is if you have an SOP, step by step process of what has to be done and the way it must be done. You put them through the training. When, of course, when you hire, you don't know what they can do. They can just tell you, oh, this is what I do, this is what I do, or this is what I've done in the past, and all of those things, which is fantastic, which is okay, right? We don't get, it's a risk that they are taking, and it's a risk you're also taking because they've not worked with you before. They don't know, maybe you are poaching them from where they are coming from, and they are going to sack them in the next 6 months. And you also don't know, if what they say they can do by their CV or during the course of the interview is what they actually will do, right? So that's why you need to have a watertight SOP and an agreement with them. I know it can be frustrating getting someone on board, training the person, and the person is not just meeting the requirement or meeting the standard or following due process. Sorry, the person has to go. Unfortunately, the person has to go. There's nothing you can do. There's no emotion about it. There's no emotional thing here. So that's the first one. Have your SOP. That's number one. Number two, when you are recruiting, like I said, recruit for character and train for skill. Character would actually help you know how this person works, how obedient and how submissive and how teachable this person is, right? So it's very critical to do that. Let it be clear in your recruitment process, and let it also be clear during the training. So you probably may have an academy, which like I do have. You can't just start operating things. No, you must come through the academy. You must write tests. You must write exam. You must be able to. We must be able to go to bed at night knowing that you are okay to handle these things, even if you have no one to call on to. So, sir, I feel your pains, and I'm so sorry for all the experience you've had. It just shows the quality of, you know, service people want to offer. Let them know your SOP. If you cannot abide by the SOP, sorry, you go out. And you may just have to keep doing this over and over and over again up until you get it right with one person. Or alternatively, if you're going to recruit someone to get it done for you, the person has to show you how the person has been doing this before now. Then also there's division of labor when it comes to the payment part, because you mentioned, when people need to use their credit, the card on the ads managers and things like that. Maybe when it gets to that point, only you should be able to do that, because again, you are careful people's monies are not stolen and ads are not running haywire and things are done the way they should be done. Maybe for now, you may just do that yourself while they handle all other stuffs themselves so that they don't put you in problems, because again, it's better to be safe than sorry. So if you're going for the experienced hires, they need to prove to you these things during the course of the interview and during the course of the probation period. If you're going for fresh graduates, new recruits, people who are just getting their hands into the business, then you need to do that training for them and watch them during that period. Yes, you can also include punitive measures like penalties here and there, and things like that. But again, it's better to always have someone who is happy working for you and doing exactly what you have specified in the job description. If you cannot do my job description, sorry, you cannot work for me. It's as simple as that. Because at the end of the month, you will ask, where's my salary? Right? So you've got to do it to standard, then you get your salary. It's as simple as that. But again, sorry for the pains of the past. Trust that helps. Thank you.
Oh,
Next question,
uh,
please.
I hope that answered your question, Damilola. So let's take one last question because we have to round up in a bit. So DJ, I'm granting you access to speak. You can go ahead now. DJ, are you with us? I guess DJ is having.
Hello, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you now. I
Okay.
can hear you now.
Yes, my question is in two phases. The first one, for businesses, when they want to scale up, particularly closing the sales, the end point or the objective of the sales must result into payment. Now, um, how do you make clients to pay up earlier? Because this has been a very, 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 very key setback in my business. They've not been paying up so early. Some even take years to pay. So I just want to know what are the strategies to push for early payment? The business is contract supplies. Then the second question, I just want you to quickly share those ideas you said you already have on the technology adoption for growth.
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. How do you get customers to pay earlier? Well, now this is a chicken and egg story because sometimes customers will say, I want to see it before I pay. While some other customers will say, okay, I'll pay you and then you can supply. Right. So in some cases, it's like that. Now, all of us, even myself speaking to you, we have some customers that they bought some stuffs and some things happened to them. Some are legitimate, some are illegitimate, and some are, and then till today they are still owing. I do have clients who are owing me as far back as 5 years ago, 6 years ago. In fact, some of them we've even written it as bad debt. Will you have customers like that? Yes. Do we all have customers like that? I will say yes. The question now is how we, reduce such occurrence or frequency or the impact of these things. As much as possible, I always collect my monies upfront as much as possible, especially when I size the customer. And after sizing this customer, either is an enterprise person, enterprise business, or is an individual, because of course my clients spread across both customers, personal people, individuals, and also businesses, right? When I size you up and there's a tendency that you are going to owe me, I'll probably just ask for upfront payment. I mean, there was a time I sized a guy up. The guy was ranting. You mean I won't pay you this one, that one, this one, that one? Till today, the guy has blocked me after we delivered service. Should I shock you? He was someone who actually paid up front for his first order and we delivered to him. Then he came for a second order. I said, okay, pay again because we must have a relationship. This is your second time of purchase. He said, no, but I paid you upfront in the first order. I said, yes, you paid us upfront and we delivered to you. Right? And now you're angry that I'm saying you should pay upfront again. You know, that guy eventually blocked me. And that money till today, and I'm not going to use another number to call him because well, it's not so much money, but it's close to 100,000 naira. Not so much money. But again, that could mean a lot to some other persons, right? So, as much as possible, please, sir, ask for your payment upfront or payment on delivery. It's better not to sell than to sell to a customer and then your money is tied down with them. So, but again, like I said, it's a chicken and egg story. It depends on the use case. There are some of my clients that I deliver 100% and they pay because I do big numbers with them and there's a rollover. And from my profits, I'm even making all my money. So please, as much as possible, ask for your payment upfront. Let them come to your warehouse where you have your supplies Let them pick it up and pay before they leave. You don't go to a supermarket and collect something and walk out. You don't do it. You don't go to Spa or Ebano or any of those guys. Sorry, I'm doing adverts for some people. But again, you don't do that and say, I will pay you later. No, you pay me and then you take your goods. Now, in some other cases, because yes, because some customers say, okay, advance and balance. Okay, you pay advance. Please, in the advance, as much as possible, let your cost of production and a bit of your profit be captured in the first payment. Then when the balance comes, fine. If it now doesn't come, then you can begin to start looking at how you can get your money from them. That's the second one. But when it comes to first supplying them, hmm, my brother, you have to be very careful because again, they may just default because you just mentioned it that some people have not paid in years. So if it's in some cases they may, so again for enterprise businesses again, sometimes they will say, okay, go and get an advanced bank guarantee. So again, I don't know the kind of customers you are dealing with, but I have customers that they will tell me, go and get an advanced bank guarantee so that if you don't deliver according to specification, the bank will pay for it. Sometimes they even do an insurance. There's an insurance package that I know with some insurance companies that they will insure you that you will deliver. So if you are the customer and they need to supply you, you can also ask for it. If you are the one supplying the customer, the customer may ask you for it that you're going to deliver according to specification. But please and please and please, you can't keep selling, giving them your tools or items that you sell without getting payment. Collect your money. It's better that money is in your hand. Be fast to collect money and slow to pay out money. You can give your suppliers, 45 days net, 30 days net invoice and things like that. But please, I don't it's always I can't overly emphasize this so that I don't keep repeating myself. Get your money upfront. If they are not ready to buy, and especially after you have sized them, the kind of customer they are, and all of those things, and you feel there's a risk in delivering first, please, if you have that gut feeling that there's a risk in first delivering, ask them to pay. If they cannot pay, then they should probably do an escrow service or they should, go and buy elsewhere. Not everybody is your customer, and it's okay. And it's okay if they don't buy from you. It's really okay because it's better not to sell to them than for you to now be chasing them for your money. Because if you continue to do that, all your monies will be tied outside. You won't have more money to get new supplies, and you may be out of business before you know it. Debt has killed a lot of businesses. Don't let it affect yours. That's for that. Then technology adoption. So I spoke a bit about it, and I said, depending on the use case of the business, we can now answer specifically. But I said, then, as little as adopting an application, even if you cannot do an Excel sheet to do your balance sheet, right? Get an application on App Store, Play Store. I told you of the one we built. From there, you can do your accounting services. There are some ones all over Play Store and App Store that you can download, use it for invoice generation. Just adopt some form of technology to make your business a bit more professional. That's when I was talking about you asking for someone to quote you something. Maybe you want to buy pillowcase, just example, right? Or laptops. And the person now begins to write on a piece of paper. One laptop goes for 550,000 naira and he's sending it to you. That's not an invoice. That's not a quote. He has just written a figure down for you to make payment, right? That way I can even size you up that you are not a professional company. So as little as downloading one or two apps on Google Play Store or on App Store, or even using Excel document to you create an invoice on Excel, but when you are saving it, you save it as PDF, you send it off to the customer. That looks a bit more professional, right? If you cannot use some apps to do this, you can use your laptop to do it, you can even use your phone to do it. But if you can download one or two apps, from there you can generate invoices, you can generate receipts, you can, do some things. That's on the aspect of the business. And I also talked about using social media. It's also technology, as little as it is. Even if you cannot have a website, use social media to run advertisement and get customers, right? So as little as that is, but again, this is also peculiar to businesses. I trust that helps. Thank you.
That was really helpful, Mr. Sugar. I trust that was helpful for you too, DJ. Uh, so we're 7 minutes past our end time. We're meant to end this 8 p.m. That's to show how insightful this was and how a lot of people had questions and suggest contributions to make. Guys, so we have come to the end of today's mentorship program. Today happens to be week three. It's meant to run for 4 weeks. So it's in collaboration with Club E.F.I, and we're in the week three of this mentorship program. So next week Saturday, which happens to be the last um, mentorship program, that's going to be week four. We're going to be talking about a very, very interesting topic. And the topic is the untold stories, entrepreneurial battles, and overcoming challenges. So mainly we're going to be focusing on personal stories relating to entrepreneurs, how they overcome significant challenges, how entrepreneurs, how you can overcome setbacks in your journey. And this is going to be really, really insightful and very, um, very helpful to a lot of people. So you don't want to miss this. And it happens to be our last mentorship program for week four. So you don't want to miss this. And also, it happens to be where we are going to be reviewing number of people that will be joining us from the beginning, from week one to week four. So you also don't want to miss this because we already said the most engaged people in this program, in this mentorship program, are going to qualify for an apprenticeship opportunity with these real business people, and that is really, really going to be helpful. So, guys, invite your friends to always join this mentorship program. Like next week Saturday happens to be the last one, so you just don't want to miss this. Also, you can check our YouTube for for summaries of the previous ones. Every Thursday, we also talk about we regularly talk about a book club. So we are currently reading a book called "You Are Not Broke, You Are Rich" by Mapalomak, which is a South African author. Every Thursday, we also host this voice chat to talk about the book. Last week Thursday, we talked about investment and how to make your money work for you. We talked about how you can invest in several opportunities out there. It was a very, very nice, like a very good one. How you can invest in ETF, structured products. And one thing about attending all this kind of space, all this kind of voice chats is there are opportunities out there. You just have to know how to get them or how to reach them. How they're accessible to everyone, not like everyone, but like if you find your way and if you, some people are not just aware of some opportunities and some are aware, but like the opportunities are not like in their means. And that's part of the reason why we organize all these voice chats and all these learning opportunities. So if they're not in your means, how do you get them to be in your means? You have to scale up. And how do you scale up? That's where these teachings come in. So next week we're also going to continue on that book club. We're going to be talking about investing for retirement. So you also don't want to miss that. So guys, this was a really, really good one. I enjoyed this topic. We talked a lot on how you can grow your company from launch to growth, how you can scale up, um things, growth steps for entrepreneurs, how you can build personal relationship with your customer. Because one thing you have to understand is building a personal relationship with your customer is very, very important, especially as an entrepreneur who's just starting up. You the the competition space is very vast. How do you compete with the big guys? Is by mainly building personal relationship with your customer. Because as we said earlier, retaining your customers is more effective than attaining new customers. So you have to retain your customers because they are the one keeping you in business. And this was a really, really good one, Mr. Shego. I jot a lot of very interesting topic. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us. And guys, let's appreciate Mr. Shegun for taking time to be with us this evening. Mr. Shegun, any last word before we round this up?
Sorry, can you come again? Any what?
Any last word from you before we round this up, so we don't waste any more time?
No, just to say thank you to everyone giving us their time and attention, and of course their data. For the past 1 hour, 10 minutes or 12 minutes now. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a pleasure. Really appreciate. your time and attention. Thank you.
All right, guys. All right, guys. We have come to the end of week 3 of our mentorship program. Next week, join us for week 4, which happens to be the last one. So you don't want to miss this. So bye, guys. We are ending this now. Have a restful weekend too. Bye, everyone.